Welcome back, class. I'm Matt, your guide here on Y Caliber. We are playing Fellowship tabletop role-playing game, and it is time for our second full session. Joining us this evening are... Yay! That was Steven Siddall, who's playing the character Caesar, the orc.
Hey, what's up?
We're also joined by Shirley, playing Landchrist, the dragon.
Hello.
And we have the irrepressible Smug, playing Hesmak, the chrono dwarf.
Yeah, g'day, mate. What's going on?
Oh, you're very Australian today.
You're right, fella.
And Clint is playing Asgarakor, the giant.
I love it.
What's up?
In addition to that, we have our friend Mike playing Rasheen, the heir.
Hey, hey.
And last but certainly not least, our friend internet celebrity D. Davis, or R-Chimp, playing Bentley Humbast, the harbinger.
$900 dues.
You're extra Australian
mate, that's
today,
a fair
too.
amount of money.
Hello.
I'd have called them Jazzwazers.
Classics.
That's racist, mate. Please don't besmirch the Australian currency or you will receive a booting.
I fucking hate racists. Mac, can I get some coffee?
I can give you whiskey.
This bit got a little more powerful since I last remembered it.
Really upped his Chrono Dwarf lore. They went straight from coffee to whiskey on the technology tree.
And speaking of going for coffee and whiskey, when we left off, you were having a break. You had just sent one of the Overlord's generals packing, and Bentley had used his magical abilities to at least temporarily cure 3 of the blighted halflings who had come under the Overlord's sway. Now, Rasheen had promised to them that he would bring them with him to face the Overlord. Which means that you have earned a fellowship move from the halfling people.
I just want to point out he did not say he would bring them alive.
I hope it's Tiny Dancing.
So your fellowship move is Bring the Whole Family, which you can find on page 115. So you forge a bond with a new companion here, one of these 3 halflings. You also forge a bond with a second identical companion with a different first name. When you first take this move, the player who picked it can forge a bond with a halfling brave, a chef, or a fast talker right now for free. So you get to forge a bond twice, and that's going to be 2 of these characters will become someone's companions. Now, who should that be?
I think they should definitely become the heirs.
Think they should join his retinue?
I think so. He needs manservants. I feel like it's a very lacking thing, particularly since the rest of us always want to shit on the heir.
Plus, if anything goes wrong, I feel like he would be the perfect person to blame for ending their people entirely.
That's
So I
fair,
think
yeah.
that's good.
Okay. Alright, so...
Plus,
Yep.
one of them is a chef, so
Well, not necessarily. Rasheen gets to choose whether they're halfling braves, halfling chefs, or fast talkers. Now, the halfling brave is a more loyal and earnest warrior you'll never find, and their stats are loyal beyond all reason and get right in there. So they're either very good masseuses or some type of warrior. The second option is the halfling chef.
That's not mutually exclusive.
It's not, you're right. The second option is the halfling chef. It says if you've got the food, they'll make it tastily. Their stats are special ingredients and rations, which is a food stat with 2 uses. And finally, there's the fast talker. It says if you'll just listen, you'd understand. Their stats are mixed metaphor a minute and natural charm. Rasheen, you get to pick one of those, and you get 2 of them.
Well, let's see. Braves would be more useful for fulfilling Rashin's promise, so that they won't just immediately die if they hit a straight wind. But Fast Talker could also be useful.
That's
And I'm
my
guessing
job.
Yes, you certainly are a lyrical wordsmith, Asgara. So it has to be whatever I pick. They're both that, right? I can't mix it.
Yeah, it says you get a second identical companion with a different first
Okay,
name.
yeah, identical. Different first name. Okay. Well, I mean, we already have some pretty good powers. So, yeah, no, I'm gonna go with the fast talkers. Maybe, they're hobbits, or halflings rather. They're small. They get underfoot and what have you, and can run around the place. Maybe we could use them to some sort of advantage in creating distractions when we need it. Because I think we have some pretty good strength on this team, but I don't know that we have a whole lot of finesse. So maybe they'll help round that out.
Okay. And what are these two young rescued halflings named?
Let's see. They are named... Shit.
Oh wow, their name's shit. That's terrible. Yeah,
Okay,
you
so-
can't undo it. You can't undo it. Their name's shit with an E at the end. Isn't that shite? No, it's shit.
Okay, so one is named Bizwiz.
Yeah, of course, sure.
Bizwiz the
It's
Hobbit.
not better.
And the other one, I'm gonna call...
That's his name? Is that noise?
Finley.
Finley. Bizwiz and
Yes.
Finley. And what's their halfling family name?
Shit. Or shit, and then that sound. Shit.
I'm trying to take inspiration from my surroundings. Hold on.
Pringle can.
Their family name is Cat Poster.
Huh. How fortuitous. A raccoon just walked by in broad daylight.
Did it really?
Is
I
that
don't
code
feel
for
like-
something? What's going on?
It's good luck, apparently.
Huh. Or a sign of rabies, yeah.
P tier Griffin.
Aw.
I came up with flashcard pot for those. No, I don't know if any of you remember that.
Nope. I failed you.
It's all right. Don't worry, buddy. Don't worry.
How about their family name be Thumb Bottom?
Yes, there we go. Why are you so
There you
much
go.
better at that than I am?
Noted author.
Noted author Steven
Yeah, it's
Seagal.
almost like he wrote a book and everything.
Bizwiz and Finley Overwatch jewel case.
So the two thumb bottoms, are they both gentlemen, or is they both ladies, or indeterminate?
They're both gentlemen.
They're both
Or
gentlemen.
actually, no, yeah, they're bald and skeleton wiggly. We can't tell. I would say undetermined.
Okay. So Bizwiz and Finley Thumbbottom, the undetermined halflings, have joined your retinue, so you can add them to your character sheet on your playbook. Now, I'm just going to put in a disclaimer here. You probably heard this at the beginning of each of the previous episodes, but I did combat wrong in the whole last session, and it should actually be quite different from how it was portrayed. It's more about maneuvering for an advantage and responding to the bad guy's attacks, rather than attempting to overcome things, which is a way to respond to an attack, not an attempt to do damage. So we'll be, if we run into combat this session, we will go into more detail in that, and I'll make sure that all of you, the players, and all of you in the audience, are clear on how that works at that time. So, you have gained 2 new companions of the 3 halflings that Bentley Humbast cured with his magic. What happens to the third, you might ask? Well, unfortunately, it succumbed to its wounds. The last of the halfling trio, they were just too rotten. Too much corruption had taken root in their body. And as Finley and Bizwiz hold them, they die and pass from this world.
Pezzywick, you were gonna be a hero, Pezzywick. I'll miss you forever, Pezzywick.
Are you telling me after all that, Mike let that one die?
Mm-hmm.
Pezzywick is done.
Wow, that's quite sad.
Someone
But I
should
play Kingdom Death, so I'm used to this.
someone should say a few words to mark Pezzywick's passing.
We should, but we don't know.
Bentley,
Pezzywick.
my friend, you have a very priestly demeanor, and you've seen many rise and
piss.
fall. Come on,
Don't let
you're the
Caesar
Gandalf.
say over their graves. He'll just expect them to rise again in a couple days.
They're fine.
Bentley is somehow going to end up with cremation ashes on his face, even though the Hobbit was not cremated. This is weird, man.
Need to stop motorboating a furnace.
Pardon?
Asgara wants you to stop motorboating his furnace.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just for a little while.
Maybe.
It's disrespectful with all the death that the air has brought to our domain.
When I see a nice furnace, I just gotta Nixon it up.
Well, that's now an immutable fact about Bentley Humbast. Just gonna start.
Loves to motorboat furnaces.
Just gonna start putting furnaces all over the Overlord's base. Fly, you fools! I can't pull myself away.
When you've been around as long as Bentley, you develop some queer fixations.
I mean, the Overlord did kind of turn the halfling homeland into a giant furnace.
That's true. There's a lot of
too
ash
soon?
around. It's been 2 weeks. You're fine.
It's
2
fine.
weeks real world time. All right. So
Genocide jokes are back on the table, boys.
Yeah, Hezmak is
Finally.
just checking the corpse.
it's a dead, rotting body.
Hezmak is nodding slowly.
It looks a whole lot like a dead dwarven body that would also be rotting. All right. So, wordlessly, you leave Pezmak's body behind. Sorry?
Smack. Oh no. I mean,
Oh wow!
Poor Hezmak.
Pezig?
Damn.
I don't remember.
We
What was
hardly
his name?
knew him. He falls over and succumbs to the damage done to the guzzler.
I mean,
Pezbig?
We did it.
Bezwag? I don't remember.
Pezzywick. Come
Pezzywick!
on.
There you go.
He died for us. You can't even remember his name.
Well, he just sort of died around you.
That's true. Yeah, he.
Hezmak is checking the almanac and nods again and puts it away.
Oh no.
How mysterious.
Wait, is Hezmak getting like Biff Tannen rich off of Deadpool or something?
That was my guess.
Okay, so you camp out until dawn, which is a few hours away. And you prepare to head out. Ah, what a lovely world map. Oh, but I guess there's been a bit of a change that we should take into account.
I feel like you're setting us up for something cool.
I would never do that.
I'm waiting for it.
Guzzlord Twino.
Also, you've raised the bar for world maps, and I hate you for that. Just FYI.
There you go.
The Halfling Fortress became the Halfling Ruins right before
Oh, no.
my very
Whoa.
eyes.
Oh no.
How did you do that, you animal?
Yeah, that's happened. See, you can see the Overlord's corrupting touch has turned that mountain into a mound of rubble. The corruption has spread even here, in the last bastion of civilization, as it were. All right, so on that note, where do you want to go?
I feel we should return to the heirs' camp, restock, fortify, and perhaps get more assistance for our new companions.
What a fantastic idea. But before we go, it looks like someone's damaged this fine vehicle here. Maybe we should repair that first.
Well, it's still running.
Yeah.
It's just not in great shape. So
I'm
there's
never letting you drive again, just the FYI.
there's a couple of options for where you can go. If you head straight east, you'll get to the Elven Exile, where the elves have been living ever since their homeland, the forest, was destroyed. A little bit to the south, you've got the Last Inn. Beyond that is the Heirs' Camp. And then in the southwest of the final lake, you have the Stolen Kingdom, where the heir originally came from. You probably don't want to go back into the Halfling Ruins. But, you know.
All right, let's go back into the Halfling Ruins.
No, that's the kind of thing that becomes an optional, really hard dungeon, like in the endgame.
Oh, shit, you're right.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
shit,
where the game
Ozma's
was.
there.
Man, Chris, didn't the elves used to all serve the dragons a long, long time ago? Maybe they can give us a safe harbor to plan our next move.
Jeez, Dorgoth.
Did the elves serve the dragon?
I can't remember if they did.
It's been a long time.
Well, Christian, so many races have served us. You expect me to tell the difference?
Like Krista and Shirley were both frozen in fear, like,
Well,
20 years, maybe.
At the least, the Gwaduin believe that. Whether it's true or not is up to the elves. But that's something that we can find out.
Definitely. Yeah, let's go find out so they can start pelting us with tomatoes.
Like, no, it turns out they've warred with dragons since the dawn of time.
I'm for that, though. Out of characterly speaking, do we, as a group, have some sort of inkling as to how to actually go about stopping the Overlord, or is that what we're kind of in the mode for?
Well, Asgara knows that he has a weakness. Beyond that, not really. You have to find out.
Okay. In that case, yes, perhaps the elves will have some ancient knowledge.
I wouldn't mind stopping at the inn on the way.
Resting may also be a good idea.
I find that acceptable.
There won't be any rest.
Whoa.
Do you mean you'll be playing like board games or something the whole time?
Oh, you know my love for board games is only outstripped by my love for rich, creamy food.
I don't know that actually, but thank you for sharing.
Now you do.
Now we
Girl's
all
like,
do.
I can't eat food, but it sounds great.
I think our bonds are strengthening.
No, it says I can only have a few of those here. Sorry.
Oh, you could make one.
Bond's been rejected.
You can always form a bond to him. But he can only form so many back.
Actually, isn't it both ways for
It
that?
is. It is both ways. Yeah.
Then I guess you can't with the giant.
So standoffish.
You could
Yeah.
change the one you have. That's about it, I think.
We're now drinking and eating buddies.
Dreeding buddies.
So,
A true companion you'll never find.
there are people advocating both for the Elven Exile and for the Inn. You'll have to choose which one you want to go to.
I don't mind going to the inn first. I don't go to those too often. Maybe we'll find some rest not next to a dead, rotting, small, tiny person body.
Oh, Pezzywick.
It's just going to be something he breaks out in like every time that something bad happens. Oh, that's weird.
He's like Welshie from Futurama.
We're going to head to the inn then?
I'm good with the inn.
Yeah, I'm okay with the inn.
You know, go to the inn. And
Yeah, we'll go to the Exile once I've had a bit to eat.
Well, that means it's time to take a journey.
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
All right, everybody get their bongs out.
I'm a fan of the sound effects.
His Mac is actually making those sounds with his mouth. The guzzler is silent.
But the sounds are actually how you drive it.
We just created the lore. We can't uncreate it, so yes.
All right, so we're taking...
That's why Rashid cracked with making sounds.
We're taking a long journey. This is a story we make when we go from point A to point B. Each one of you is going to tell us about something that happened along the way. And when you describe the event that happened along the way, you then choose another player, and that player has to tell us how you handled the event. The Overlord also gets a turn to describe an event that's directly related to the Overlord or their minions, and tell us what they're up to, or how they get in the Fellowship's way. Okay, so every player has to tell us about an event and help solve someone else's event. So the last person will, the last person's event will be solved by the first person, basically, and then you go around within that.
All right.
So you set off from the Halfling Ruins, and what's the first issue you run into on your way around the lake towards the heirs' camp? I'm going to just go in the order that I see down at the bottom here. So I guess we'll go from back to front. Shirley, what's the first thing that you run into as you try to get away from the collapsed, corrupted mountain fortress?
Let's see. I guess Lancris succumbs to his nature as a dragon and notices Rasheen is carrying very shiny objects, possibly loot. Filches a little bit of it.
Okay. So.
Oh no, infight.
Lancris is drawn to Rasheen's wealth, to the things that he's carrying. Who is going to resolve this issue, Lancris?
I mean, I guess the obvious choice is Rasheen, but if someone else has ideas.
Does anyone want to volunteer then?
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay.
So Caesar, being a, let's say, perceptive fellow, also quite deliberate and patient, decides to handle this in a way that, well, he fears Lancris a little bit. So he kind of wants to make certain that Lancris has no reason to spew fire or lightning over everything. Mm-hmm. And knows that if Rasheen gets wind of this kind of filtering going on, something's going to happen. So basically, I feel that Caesar would, in his slow Eeyore voice, try to approach Lancris and explain that more human values to the dragon, perhaps. That the former prince, would not appreciate this if he found out about it, and try to coax Lancris into, if not apologizing, then at least putting things back. And maybe even promises to take Landchrist out to hunt for shinies later.
Okay. So Caesar is able to appease Landchrist's greed for the moment. And Caesar, what do you run into as you are leaving the corrupted lands?
Let's see. So, as Caesar has, for the moment at least, smoothed over certain potential in-party downfalls, along the way they get assaulted by certain beasts, flying beasts, and these beasts are possibly even winged monkeys.
Okay.
They assault the party, and yeah.
All right. So the party is assaulted by winged, monkey-like beasts. They may or may not be part of the Overlord's forces, but they're certainly after the party. Who's going to deal with this issue?
Can I deal with something if I've done a thing already?
Everyone has to both bring up an event and solve an event. So yes, you can fix this one if you want. But what's supposed to happen is that... Sorry, what's supposed to happen is that the person who brings up the event names the person who's going to solve it. But if you guys want to do it a different way...
I see.
Yeah, so that's how the book says it, but if you want to do it with volunteering, that's okay too.
Well, if that's the case, I nominate Bentley to solve this problem.
Okay, well, under a threat of duress of flying monkey, Bentley prepares an alchemical compound that just smells awful to them, using his wealth of knowledge of, the world as he's been alive for so very, very long. So that's how he chooses to solve the problem, and it works fantastically because all of them disperse from the stench that just emanates from Fortuino.
That was urine, wasn't it?
It smells delicious.
And there may have been some urine.
Well done, Beacon.
He's not saying no.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as this is happening, his carriage's axle snaps from all the assaults that are going on.
Oh no.
And he has to turn... He has to turn, hopefully, to Hesmac for help in repairing his jack carriage here, so he can continue at least on pace with the rest of them.
Okay.
So Hesmac, just dwarf about town as he is. He was going to deal with the monkeys, but of course his rifle broke earlier. His pew pistol.
Yeah.
It's currently just Hesmac.
I hope that's actually the name. Pew pistol.
Yeah, I mean that's where he gets his family name from. Their infamous pew pistols.
Of course.
I have no idea if my wife's singing in the background is transmitting, but anyway,
I thought it was Earp's baby.
Yeah, definitely was. So as the axle breaks, I mean now you hear my cat in the background. So the axle breaks and Hesmac, he kind of just eases off of his accelerator and has a hearty laugh because obviously, poor cart that it is, it's so low tech compared to the silent guzzler. So he puts it in park by making a sound effect with his mouth, hops on out, pulls out his tools, and I mean it's low tech, but it's something that he can take care of. He just kind of finds a nearby piece of wood, cuts it down, and then smooths it out and essentially creates an entirely new axle in record time. In fact, he even times himself.
Just imagining this happening like Minecraft style, essentially.
Just starts punching a tree.
He punches it a few times and it becomes a block of wood.
Yep. So the axle is no longer round; it's more blockish, but it does still rotate
Somehow.
somehow.
Future tech. I assume there's an asterisk next to the silent guzzler there. Silent asterisk guzzler.
Probably.
Okay.
So that's me handling that problem now. During our subsequent journey, we get back on the road, and Hesmak's lunch falls down between his legs and rolls under the chair that he is sitting in.
Oh no!
And of course, in the back seat is Asgara.
Oh no. Okay. What can Asgara do about that?